Hey everybody, it's Dr. Levitt here. I am at my office and I'm going to talk to you about the less glamorous side of medicine today. We're going to dispel a few myths and I'm probably going to upset at least a couple of people along the way, so apologies about that. What we're talking about today is earwax and more specifically ear candling, excessive accumulations of earwax that people claim to be able to remove and feel much better when they use these things called ear candles. So ear candles are widely available. They have them in drugstores. They certainly have them in health food stores and online. And what they are, I have an example of what something looks like. This is it's actually a beeswax tube. This one's made of paper, just as a demonstration tool, but this is a tube made of cotton cloth that's drenched in beeswax. And what happens is people will insert the small end, the tapered end, into the ear canal and then set the larger end aflame, set it on fire. And as that candle burns, the idea is that proponents will claim that this causes a negative pressure, like a vacuum effect in the ear, and it will melt and pull out the earwax, which will then be deposited into this lower end of the tube. So they put the candle out when it's about this long, and then look inside, and you see all this earwax that's accumulated in there, or supposedly earwax that's accumulated in there. Now, number one, don't do this. This process is ineffective. It doesn't work. And number two, it's potentially and quite seriously dangerous. What's actually happening when people use one of these beeswax drenched cotton cloths called an ear candle is that the heat from the flame melts the wax in the candle itself. The wax drips down the tube and accumulates in the base of the tube, and it looks a lot like earwax when it accumulates there. So when people remove the tube and look inside, they see this accumulation, but the accumulation was not from inside the ear. In fact, it was from the candle itself. Now, I've actually done this experiment in my office with one of my patients who was convinced that she felt so much better with these ear candles. I looked in her ear with an otoscope, a regular doctor's otoscope, and it was full of wax. I couldn't even see her eardrum. It was so full of wax. She had ear candles. I actually encouraged her to bring them to the office. We put the ear candle in her ear. She did the whole thing. We found the wax on the inside of the candle. I looked in her ear again at the end of this process, and all that earwax was still there. So at the end of that process, I took the earwax out with typical doctor tools. I usually use a combination of hydrogen peroxide and water and kind of a large bore syringe and sort of flush it out gently. And that gets the earwax out. It's very easy to tell. The earwax comes out. We look back in the ear with an otoscope and it's clean as a whistle. And that's the safer way to remove earwax. Ear candles should be discouraged. They are ineffective and they are potentially dangerous. Now the danger comes from what if that hot wax melts and doesn't accumulate here, but rather drips down into the ear canal, and now you have a hot wax burn either deep inside the ear canal or on the eardrum itself. Now that is not something that you want to deal with. An eardrum burn has just be unbelievably painful. So I discourage the use of ear candles, and I hope that helps somebody out there. Take good care.